and welcome to another session of Rich Habits, Poor Habits. Welcome, Tom Corley.
Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Good, thank you. And thank you to all of our followers who follow us on Twitter and Facebook and watch this on YouTube. And today we've got a great session for you. And if you get some benefit out of it, if you could please pass it forward and like us on Facebook or forward it to one of your friends, because Tom and I really want to get this particular message out. I know it's one of Tom's important ones. And the concept of that book from Napoleon Hill that most of us have read called Think and Grow Rich. Tom, can you really think your way to success?
You can't, Michael. Thinking is like running down the football field and getting to the 50-yard line. You don't score a touchdown that way. What gets you to, through the down to scoring the touchdown is action. And I think the thinking part is important. It's important because that visualization, it gives you clarity. That's what thinking is important for. To give you clarity in terms of your course of action and create a blueprint.
Maybe we should go back a step. For those who haven't read the book, way back in 1937, Napoleon Hill studied about 100 successful people, the most successful people in America, and tried to distill down the secrets of success. Interestingly, Tom, it reminds me of the study that you did of the success habits, the rich habits and poor habits that we've put together in our book, Rich Habits, Poor Habits. And Napoleon Hill distilled these down and came up with the concept that you can think and grow rich. Now, I think he also knew, Tom, that you had to take action. But if he would have called his book Think and Work Hard and Create a Product or Service that sells lots and helps lots of people and grow rich, he probably wouldn't have sold as many of books, would he, Tom?
No, and that's I guess the trick to selling a lot of books is coming up with that cute title, that catchphrase that gets everybody's attention, and he certainly did.
Well, other people have then mutated this law of attraction and said, there's a secret. And that came out about 2006. There was 10 years or so ago, this secret. So the concept of the law of attraction is what you think about the most is what you become. Now, it's partly true because your reticular activating system does actually focus on things. But Tom, if what you think about the most is what you become, my 26-year-old son Harrison would probably turn into a female.
And I'd be an astronaut.
So therefore, there's a lot more to it. But I think the secret really was pandering to people's desire to distill it down to one thing, a secret. And as far as I know, there isn't one, Tom.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that that book, The Secret, has sold over 19 million copies. And what they did that was great with that book is they sold people on the notion that success, you don't have to pursue any goals. You don't have to work hard. You don't have to fail. You don't have to make mistakes. All you've got to do, Michael, is think. If you think the right way, and if your brain is vibrating or sending out the right vibrations, it's going to pull these things from the great ether out there into your life. Well, that's nonsense. What it does, the correct thinking, and specifically visualization, is it provides clarity. Now, clarity is really important because clarity, it tells you exactly what you want in life, and it also tells you exactly how to go about and get it. But the whole point of this is it sets up the golf ball, but you still have to hit that golf ball. You have to do the work. You have to take action, and that's where the secret. I mean, if the secret was if they were right, Michael, we would have seen an abundance of millionaires after that book came out in 2006, and that simply didn't happen. What happened was people were very disappointed, and then they ended up moving on to the next thing or the next great, scheme.
Well, I guess it also falls back to your study where you've shown that successful people have habits, but it's not just one habit. It's not just doing one thing. It's the way you do all sorts of things. And it's also the things you choose not to do that makes you successful, that makes you wealthy, that makes you rich. And thinking is definitely part of it. So you've got to think positively, you've got to have gratitude, you've got to hang around with the right people, but it's more than just thinking. So it's taking action. But if you don't know which actions you're going to take, if you don't have that blueprint, Tom, as you say, then taking action on its own isn't enough either. It's really a combination.
Yeah, that's why it's so important to think and visualize exactly what you want in life. And you know, I just wrote one of my favorite articles, the intersection between passion and talent results in success and happiness. You know, if you could bring your talent and your passion together, you can be really successful in life. And how does that happen? It happens by you visualizing what kind of life it is that you want. And then it starts to work on your subconscious, and your subconscious starts to nudge you in certain directions and probably towards your talents. And what happens is that creates a visualization of exactly what you need to do, but you still got to do it. You still have to hone that talent. Even though you have this innate talent, you still have to take action and get better and better and better at what you do. It requires work. Visualization only gives you the blueprint. The action is what actually makes you successful.
Thanks, Tom. Now, for those of you who haven't read Think and Grow Rich, I would still recommend reading it, understanding what Tom and I have just mentioned, because Napoleon, well, it's actually hard reading, isn't it, Tom? It's difficult reading, but it's actually, we think it's so powerful that it's one of the free bonuses that we give when you buy our book, Rich Habits, Poor Habits, and you actually get an ebook version of that. And it's written in Old English, but the old style, but it definitely has got some good messages. Napoleon Hill distills down the habits of successful people, and one of them is taking action. So thanks, Tom. Next week, we'll have another chat about Rich Habits, Poor Habits.
Looking forward to that one, Michael.
My pleasure. Bye.
Bye.